Part two. Welcome back, guys.
We pack up all of our stuff, and as we're packing our stuff and we get everything together and we're leaving, as the officer is walking us over to 1C, we're chopping it up with the officer like, who's going to be our roommate? And then Kayla, she takes it upon herself to say to the officer, she's like, is there any way that you can make it to where me and Lala are roommates? Like, please. And then I looked at her like, she hella funny. I was glad she said that. Like, that's the only person I could see or want to be my roommate. I don't know none of these hoes. Like, I was really nervous about that. Like, being in a room with a stranger. Like, even though y'all could say for the most part Kayla's a stranger, but I feel like from us riding that moment from when we rode the jail van to the prison, it just, something clicked. Like, that was just instantly my girl. Anyways, so we were more comfortable rooming with each other than anybody else. So the prison officer goes, you know what? Yeah, like, we were actually gonna room you guys together anyways, because we seen you guys over this week. We seen you guys like talking a lot, and like we seen you guys like together a lot. So we were already gonna roommate you guys, and we were like, So y'all, imagine this. Imagine being in a room with like someone who you would have been friends with anyways for like, we were locked in our rooms for like 20 hours a day. So at 12 a.m., we can have the TV on. No one, it's allowed. So we have like freaking sing-alongs. You know, at like 12 a.m., we're watching like the whole Harry Potter series. Like, it went crazy. Like, for us to be in prison. Like, I'm gonna just let you know. Like, cause like, yeah, we're gonna get to that. So the lady shows us to our room, and it's an upstairs corner room. And the important part about this is there's obviously a corner on the left and the right, and then you turn this way, it's a corner on the right and the left. But us being in the corner room, I'm gonna put another diagram in here, y'all, but us being in the corner room, the mirror is right there, the hangout little lounge is right there, and the showers are right across from us. So I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing, but it's always people just right there, right? Cool, whatever. So we go in there, you know, we unpack all of our stuff. We set up the room how we set up the room, because there's like a corner shelf. So we like divided the shelf. Bunk bed, you know, like I wanted the top, so I got the top. I don't think my girl wanted the top anyways. I love you, Kayla. I do want to mention we were allowed to keep certain items of our clothes. So like anything that we brought with us to travel to London originally, like that we packed in our suitcase, we were allowed to keep certain things. Obviously, we couldn't keep any crop tops, booty shorts, or anything like that, but they gave us like our sweatpants, our jackets, our shirts, and stuff like that. So we did have, like, when we divided the shelves, we needed that shelf space, like we actually had clothes or whatever, and so they did allow us to wear that throughout the day or whatever. Like, they also gave us like prison issue stuff, like sweatpants and like jackets and shirts, little t-shirts, crew necks, all that stuff. They gave us that stuff, but like we would like interchangeably, they gave us pajamas too, but we would interchangeably wear stuff like that, whatever. So let me just tell y'all that the time that me and Kayla were roommates in that room, we had the most fun. And I know obviously prison is not for fun, but obviously, like, we were worried about and concerned about things as well. But I'm just saying, for this to be prison, we had too much fun. We would put like freaking Disney Channel on the TV, not Disney Channel, but like it would be like a music channel that had the tunes, and we would be singing Hannah Montana hella loud at like 12 a.m. We was just lit in there. We would be having movie nights. Like literally, I would go from the top bunk and be on the bottom bunk. We were just both under the cover, and like we were just both in the bottom bunk. So I'm just saying though, like there were people like in prison that I would just think like, yo, if we were girlfriends or if we were both like gay type shit, the shit that we could have got away with, but we didn't, obviously. But there will be characters that are introduced into this story time, and I will tell you about how they did have experiences and how they got caught. So yeah, like me and Kayla, we would literally be on her bottom bunk like watching movies. We'd have like our little covers and our blankets, like have our little snacks, like literally girls movie night. And I'm just saying, like, if we were like went that way, you feel me? If Kayla went that way, like, you feel me? We could have been doing some things, and this is crazy to me. Like, we're left in this room overnight every day, like obviously locked up in this room overnight. All they would do is come by every 3 hours, open our little window flap. We had like a rectangle sized window flap that they opened from the outside, boom, and they would just put their little flashlight every 3 hours. But it was like clockwork. We knew every time they would be coming back. There was even a time when they did that and me and Kayla was on the bottom bunk and they didn't even say nothing. So we definitely made the best out of our time in there. Like, me and Kayla in that room, we would be like freaking, we would have our crash out moments where we're like, like, I hate it here. Like, but like not like dead ass like on some crazy shit, but like more so just like letting it out. Like, and then we'd look at each other and like laugh after. But like, it was just like a lot of like, it's just so much. Like, I don't even know where to start in a sense, but I'm gonna try to get this out for you guys as quick as I can. It's just I'm trying to compact 4 months of stuff in such a short video, so bear with me, guys. As the days went on, I do want to talk about key points now moving forward. I don't want to go day by day. So now that me and Kayla were settled into our rooms and stuff like that, you know, we're meeting people and stuff like that. And come to find out, there was this other girl named Lala there. So when people are asking me my name and I'm like, oh, Lala, they're like, what? There's another girl in here named Lala. And then I was just like, no way. And now this is going to be another character in the story, guys. They will call me the Lala from Cali and Lala from Miami. So she had a roommate named Zizi, and they were both really cool girls. Lala was from Miami, Zizi was from Barbados, and she was super cool too. Crazy part about it, right? Everybody we're meeting and we're clicking with are there for the same reason. I mean, obviously, the people that are there that we're talking to that are from the UK, they're there for some crazy shit, and we like heard that, whatever. We were really clicking with the people that was from the States because, like, you know, we're more familiar with them, so that's kind of just the people that we're gravitating towards. And you know, black people gravitate towards black people in certain situations. It just happens like that. It's just natural. It's what we're used to. So yeah, so like meeting them, of course, if you're traveling, you probably didn't travel 10 hours to come somebody, and if you did, that's wild. So we were pretty much all there for the same reason. So after meeting them and stuff, like we were bouncing information off of each other. Like at all times, we were always bouncing information off each other. Me, Kayla, Lala, and that was just it at the time, right? So some days go by, same regiment, you know, shower and this and that. Now, I did mention before that they gave us keys to our room. So when we were in the ones, we had keys to our cells. So like if we like leave our cell, we lock up behind us so nobody take our shit or whatever, like whatever. And then so when we went to 1Cs, we only had one key. So me and Kayla would like, you know, pass the key back and forth. Like, you got the key? Like if she's downstairs playing bingo with somebody, or if I'm getting food at the food line, like we'll usually hold each other's place in line, or like take each other's plate to the line and like pass the other one a key. Like, oh, you got the room key? If she needed something while I'm in the line, she'll come get the key from me, go upstairs, do whatever she do while I'm holding her place in line for food. So like we would do that a lot, and vice versa. Like if I'm still asleep in the morning at 8 a.m. when they wake up for breakfast, Kayla go down there and take both our plates and get both our breakfast and take it up back into the room and close our door. It was just cool, like, you know. So our days went on. Me and Kayla were basically just trying to help each other out and make this experience as best as we could for each other. Like literally we were getting each other through it. Yeah, so I just want to rewind a little bit too and throw something in there that I forgot to tell y'all. When we were in 1D with all the people that were like coming off of whatever they were on, there was this girl that I met, I forget her name, so let's just call her Amber. So there was this girl I met named Amber, a little white girl, and she seemed like she was kind of all over the place or whatever. And I was just talking to her, just like she was just like a young little white girl, and I was just talking to her just to talk to her, like kind of get her story or whatever. And she basically was talking to me like, you know, super cool, normal, blah blah blah. It was just cool. It was what it was. It was like a normal conversation. Like, she's talking to me like normal. Everything's cool. When I tell y'all, 10 minutes later, after I'm talking to Amber, I see officers swarming in our wing, and I'm just like, what's going on? And they're going into Amber's room. Like, bro, why Amber in the room trying to
Unalive herself.
like, bro, she's hanging on her door with something. Like, and I'm just like, this is crazy, bro. Like, I ain't never seen nobody in that type of predicament in my life. Like, that's insane. Like, so that was like wild to see, especially because her mental seems so stable as I was just talking to her. So like, and it's just kind of crazy how I just happened to be talking to her too. Like, it's just crazy how life just be crazy. She was okay, y'all. She was okay. She's just very far off her rockers. It might not be in chronological order now from this point on, but I do want to tell you guys different key point experiences. And me and Kayla ended up getting moved to a different room and a different wing a month after we were in this one. So I'm not too sure which happened in which wing. So I'm gonna definitely start off from where me and Kayla were at right now. And I know certain things from when we moved, but I'm gonna tell y'all as much as I can from when we were in the first wing. Y'all just gotta rock with me because this stuff is crazy. All right, boom. Incident number 1, when me and Kayla were in 1C roommating together. And by the way, me and Kayla, we were like this the whole time. Never anything with me and Kayla, spoiler alert, okay? Just want to spoil that for you. So somebody, I don't know how, well, I do know how now. At the time, I didn't understand how, but somebody broke into me and Kayla's room. And you remember those prison issue vapes that I was telling y'all about? When you're new in prison, they give you hella free oils, right? So as we are just coming to this wing, these people know that we're new, so they know that we have oils. So some druggie must have broke into our room and stole Kayla's vape pods, right? So when Kayla went back into the room and she's looking everywhere, she's freaking out about them being gone. And I'm freaking out about them being gone too, but I'm more concerned about how to beep somebody broke into our cell. Like, this is not supposed to be a thing. We're not finna do this. This is not what we're finna do. Like, what we're not finna do is be stealing, right? So it becomes a thing, you know, we're talking about it, we start talking about it louder. So now we're talking about it to Lala and Zizi, and Lala and Zizi's room are right across from me and Kayla's. So we're like, yeah, we're talking about it. And as we're talking about it, people are hearing about it. So one of the girls from a cell down the way, she come over and she's like, someone stole your oils, someone stole your vape oils. And we're like, yeah, like someone stole Kayla vape oils, like what the hell, da 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 da, blah blah blah. So then the girl goes, oh, I think I know who did it. It's this girl that's always stealing, da da da. And she's telling us, giving a rundown about how she thinks this girl this, this girl that. Now, as she's telling us this, the girl she's talking about, who's pregnant, by the way, the girl who she's talking about comes around the corner. Who are you talking about? You talking about me? Who are you talking about? You talking about me? So then the girl who's telling us the story is like, yeah, did you steal their vapes? You stole their vape oils. You sold their vape oils. And she's like, I didn't steal shit. I didn't steal nothing. And then, so they're arguing, right? Next thing you know, pregnant girl who came around the corner like, who you talking about, me? She minked the girl into the room. So the girl flies into the room, grabs the pregnant girl by her hair, and then now the pregnant girl is mink, mink, mink. And then the girl, the other one, she's like, mush out. And me and Kayla, we like, oh shit. And then I'm hella unserious. I'm like watching back. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, they're fighting over us. Like, this is crazy. Girls, don't fight. There's 2 of us. That's right. But no, so yeah, they're fighting. And then of course the prison guards come up. Everybody got to get on lockdown. So then now we all locked down. Y'all, me telling this story, I'm going to be honest. Me telling this story, I don't feel like I'm telling my story. Like, this does not sound real. Like, for me. at least. Like, I feel like I'm telling someone's show or a Lifetime movie. And I'm gonna have to adjust the light here in a second, y'all, so bear with me. But yeah, this does not feel like my story, but this is 110% my story, guys. So, like I was saying before, guys, the pregnant girl and the one who accused the pregnant girl of stealing Kayla's vapes, they were fighting, and then we had to get on lockdown. So, as we're on lockdown, guys, it was so crazy. Like, me and Kayla, we over here reflecting about the situation. Like, oh my gosh, like Kayla's like such a pacifist, so she's like, oh, I'm so scared. Like, she wasn't really like scared, but she was just like, oh, like, I don't want them to have to fight like over this and stuff like that, and like, oh, that was crazy, whatever. So it was crazy, y'all. So needless to say, we had to figure out how she broke into our room. So we figured it out. So you remember that flap of the rectangle window that I was telling you guys about? When you open that flap from the outside, there's a thick plastic window, little window that we thought is just sealed, but apparently not. So when you like push it hard enough, it'll slide. So what she did was she pushed it and she slid the window to the side, stuck her arm through that little peephole, unlocked our door from the inside, and went inside. So that day started the day of me and Kayla started getting creative. We had to get creative with everything, but this started the creativity. So I ended up having to makeshift a little window lock for our little tiny piece of window that we got. So what I did was I took a pencil and I jammed it behind the slide of the window, the little plastic part. So I jammed the pencil right there. So literally you could not open that little sliding window if you wanted to. That was crazy, y'all. Me and Kayla were roommates at that first prison for 2 months. So in this 2 months, me and Kayla were super creative with the things that we ended up coming up with in that room. So over time, the room, I don't know, it's a prison. So the room just wasn't what I'm used to, like at home, smell wise, and a lot of aesthetic wise, and all this other stuff, right? So one thing we did to make the room like smell good and like have, you know, a good smelling room, fresh smelling room, we took the pads, the sanitary pads that they gave us, and for the guys that don't know what a sanitary pad is for that time of the month, so took one of those pads, and then I opened the pad like as you would normally, but then I opened the pad itself, like made a pocket in the pad, and then we would get oranges and stuff like that. So we would save the orange peels, and I'd take the orange peels and I'd put them in this pad, and then I put like hand sanitizer in the pad, and then I like close the pad back up, and then like I would like crunch it up, and then I would stick the maxi pad in the behind our fan. So like I'd stick it right there behind our fan, and then the fan would like, yes, we had a fan in there too, y'all. The fan would blow around the scent of citrus. So that's one little hack that we did in there. Also, there was another hack. Come to find out, everybody already knew about this hack, but we just figured it out on our own, not even knowing. So we had like pictures that we had colored and like little art that we made, and so like to hang it up around our room, we were only allowed to hang stuff on like one wall, whatever. So we used our toothpaste to like paste the pictures onto the wall, and it worked. It's just so many different little hacks. I'm sure throughout the story, y'all, I'm gonna remember some more, but that's just something that I could think of right now. Oh, there's another one that I could think of real quick. So they gave us like these prison issued underwears, right? So before we were able to shop on Canteen and get our commissary or whatever, I needed a hair tie. Yo, girl got a lot of hair, like, so I ended up needing a hair tie. So I took the prison issued underwear that they gave us, because at the end of the day I had my own underwear. Them underwear was not it. So I took them and I ripped the waistband off of the underwear and I used it as a hair tie. Yeah, struggle mode. But you gotta do what you gotta do. So yeah, y'all. I'm not sure how long this video is getting, but I'm gonna let me give y'all a little bit more before I wrap this video up and move on to a part 3. So I want to tell y'all about another incident that happened in that 2 months that me and Kayla were roommates. So I want to say one of the first nights that me and Kayla slept as roommates together or whatever, we started to hear, like, it was probably like maybe like 12 a.m., right? We started to hear like this banging, like super loud banging from downstairs, like boom, 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 right? So we're like, what the freak is that? Like, right? So there's this lady downstairs, prisoner, that I guess has episodes, and she was just moved into that wing not too long ago. And so she would have her episodes where she'd be banging all night. When I say all night, she'd be banging from 12 a.m. to like 4 a.m. And like me and Kayla would be like, what the freak? Like pulling our hair out, bro. Kayla even got earplugs, like, but she'd have her moments. Sometimes me and Kayla would literally freestyle to her beating, like it would be crazy, y'all. But people would literally be screaming out of their cell doors, because we had the doors that closed behind our cells were like full doors, like they weren't like bars or anything. Like we were legit in what looked like a dorm room. And yeah, like people would be screaming through their doors like, shut up, be quiet. So like it was a lot of that going on. Fast forward, guys, some time went on, and I'd say like this is probably, we're going on like week 2 or 3. We're going on week 2 or 3 of being here, and we're starting to hear different stories through the grapevine about people who are here for similar reasons from us. So obviously our plan and our intentions is waiting for our court date, and of course we're going to be pleading not guilty because we're not guilty of the charges. So that's already our mindset. But a lot of people that were already there longer than us, a little bit longer than us, who are there for the same reasons, were telling us that that's what they were going to do at first as well, before they started to get all this information of why it would not be in their favor to plead not guilty, and that telling us, basically trying to persuade us to plead guilty because it would be better in our favor. And that did not sound like an option to us. Like that sounded crazy. We were like, what? No. So I'm going to get to how that progressed down the line. So I do want to mention, it was probably by week 3. Yeah, it was week 3. So week 3, we finally got into classes and jobs and stuff like that. So I was in IT class, and then I was in IT class for a couple weeks. Or no, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was in IT class for maybe like a week or so, and that would be like the first month there, is what I mean by the first week, by a week. Then I got moved to this class that they actually called Jailbirds, and what it was like an arts and craft class. They sewed, they made art for like art shows, and they would sew things that would go to the public and actually get sold. And if you guys know me, I do sew. So that was cool. So I was involved in that, and I was able to get out of my cell more. We did sign up to be in the gym and sign up for church and stuff like that, but the gym at this prison in particular wasn't that accessible to us, for reasons I forget why. It just wasn't that accessible to us. But we would go to church every Sunday, and then they actually have a salon there, guys, where people go get their hair done, their nails done. And when I say people, I mean prisoners. So the prisoners would pay like pennies, but I'd say like $5, $3 to get their nails done at the salon and their hair done at the salon. And so I applied to work at the nail salon, and I was waiting to hear back, and I ended up getting accepted to work in the nail salon. And yeah, like I literally had my nail salon desk as you would at a regular nail salon, and I was literally doing nails. Yes, guys. And I do want to mention, we had these little things in our cell blocks, like in our common areas, like right outside our room doors, that we called pods, right? So like they're like little kiosks that have like touchscreen, and that's where you would order your canteen for next week. That's where you would receive emails. If your family sent you emails, you would type in your prison number, and then you would see like emails, pictures from your family and friends. That's where you would go to like book appointments to get your nails done, your hair done. Yeah, that's what you do on the pod. So you can go on the pod at any time that you were out your cell, and every time you were out your cell, you were headed to like, if you're in class or if you're working, you would have to print out like a receipt from the kiosk. It's called your movement slip. So you would print that out and you would show the guard at the gate in order for them to let you out into the outside, that you would go to a different building to attend your classes and your work. So that movement slip, you print it out, and then you show it to the guards as you're leaving. So yeah, so I was able to take clients in the nail salon. It was a huge part of getting me through my experience, because when I would be there doing nails, I would feel like I'm back at home until I look up and realize that it looked like a salon inside, until we have to line up to leave and get patted down and searched to make sure we are not stealing anything before we leave. That's when I remember like, oh shit, I'm at prison. Yeah, so those activities definitely got me out of the cell more, and saved my mental, I feel like, the most. So I do want to leave you guys here because this video is getting a little long, but please stay tuned for part 3 when I introduce another character. And this girl, she is funny, y'all. And actually stay tuned, guys, because next episode I'm going to introduce 3 more characters that are huge in this story time. And one of the characters that I'm about to introduce is one of the girls that ended up getting caught doing some stuff in that cell, okay? So stay tuned for part 3, guys, and I hope you guys are really enjoying this series. This, like I said, is going to be over a 10-part series, so lock in with me, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Go trend, cut it, get it on film. 4 course meal, she ate up the drip. She wanna go through that, yeah.